Hi, today I'm really proud to present you a new line of product available to order at Lozeau, the Fujinon Cine lenses. Fujinon is well known for their broadcast lens, used by many cameramen and DP around the world for years. Everyone who had worked with 2/3-inch camera knows Fujinon lens. They are sharp, parfocal. Parfocal means that the focus does not shift as you zoom, very well built to resist intensive work and highly versatile. For all those reasons, they are not cheap, as they range between 18,000 for the HK series to over 60,000 for the ZK series. Those two series have in option the possibility to add a servo drive unit to work on large sensor camera in a broadcast style. But now the camera has changed and the Sony FS series camera has a different style and weight compared to the B4 format broadcast and cine camera like the Arri Alexa. They are small, light, and inexpensive. It may seem odd to take a 40 grand lens on a $10,000 camera, and it may not be accessible for many owner operators. That's why Fujinon introduced the MK series lens, a low-cost and light cine lens for native E-mount camera in 1855 T2.9 and the 50 to 135 T2.9. Let's see this series in detail. Since the introduction of the E-mount photo and video camera, Sony and Zeiss have released mainly photo lenses. Those lenses are great for photo work, but they do have major irritant for video work. Focus shift while zooming, lens breathing, optical axis shift while zooming, and a clicked aperture ring. So I'm with the 1650mm lens from Sony on E-mount. So here I have my wide shot. I adjust manually my focus, and you see now I'm tack sharp. If I change the zoom and I go to my 50mm, what we have a shot out of focus. So which means that there's a focus shift while zooming, and that's not a thing that we want. Also, as you remarked, on my wide shot, actually, the shot is darker than when I go wide. That's because we don't have a constant aperture. So that's one other problem that we find on some photo lens. Not all, of course, but if the lens is not constant aperture, well, we have that problem. Also, as you've seen, the axis shift, the circle in the middle of the image was in the middle, perfectly in the middle, and now it's a little off. So that's one of the other problems that we find on a photo lens. One of the problems that we remark with some photo lens, it's the problem of focus breathing. And how that occurs is that when you do the focus back and forth, do a rack focus, you will see a slight change in the focal length. And just to illustrate what I said, I put a 50mm FE lens 1.4, f1.4. I set it at 2.8 just because we have the proper exposure. And if you see the line on the left, you will see that it moves. Actually, you see it moving. If you want to make sure to make it even clearer, I will close down to make sure that we'll have, so I go to f8, my image is darker, but now look at the same line and look how it moves. So it's a very, very big change in the focal value, even if it's a prime lens. So that's one of the things that can be disturbing during a shot in video. It's one of the problems that we don't want when we shoot in video. So again, if you have a lens that doesn't have any breathing, it's a big advantage. With this lens, you will see that if you take, for instance, a line on the shot, you will see that it does not move at all from one end to the other of the focus ring. So you really see that the lens doesn't move at all. So your framing always remains constant. As you see, the Fujinon MK lens deal very well with those problems. Also, they are very sharp and contrasted even at full aperture. Let's talk about the main feature of those lenses. They are very light. 980 grams compared to the 2.7 kilogram for the Fujinon Cabrio 1990. To achieve this, Fujinon have replaced the all-metal construction with a polycarbonate housing. The E-mount is also shorter and lighter than the PL mount found on the other Fujinon Cine lens. But you have to keep in mind that you cannot change the mount of the MK series lens. They are meant only for the E-mount. because of course they are designed for a really short 18mm flange distance, and of course the PL mount is a lot deeper at 52mm, so they cannot fit or adapt the lens. You can mount this lens on a Sony FS7 Mark I and II, the FS5, and all the E-mount camera. For the full frame camera though, you will have to use the crop sensor mode because this lens covers only the APS-C or Super 35 frame. The lens have a seamless iris ring which allow you to change the aperture while shooting and still be able to use that footage. That is not possible on a regular photo lens. This lens have also a macro focus ring. By pressing this small button, it allows you to focus on object around 1 feet or 38 centimeters from the lens. When not using the macro, the maximum focus distance is about 85 centimeters or 2 feet. The focus ring rotates around 200 degrees and have a 0.8 pitch gear, which is a standard for the follow focus or macro force control. Let's talk about the focus on this lens. It's a parfocal lens, and to ensure that it remains parfocal on different camera, the lens, like every other Cine or B4 lens, has a back focus adjustment ring, which allow you to adjust your parfocal. All you need, it's a high contrast subject, like the charts I have behind me. Actually, I do it on purpose. I completely unbalance it, so it's not okay. As you may see right now, actually my shot, it's in focus, so I adjust my focus and it's very nice. If I zoom out, then I realize that it's completely off. Well, that's because my back focus was not adjusted. Generally, that's an operation you will have to do only one time for the one same camera. Otherwise, if you change camera, it's a good practice to redo that test. So mainly what you need to do is to get the camera in front of a high contrast subject. Today I use a chart that will be useful for that, but any high contrast subject that is plain and off will do the trick. So all you have to do is set your lens at full aperture, so in this case at T2.9, zoom at the maximum, then make sure that your shot is in focus, zoom back at the wider shot, and just unscrew here the little knob. Then you adjust the focus until it's tack sharp. So here it is. This is sharp. And I relock it to make sure that it doesn't move. I zoom back, readjust my focus. All right, at 55 mils. Then I return the wide shot and I check if my focus is in. If it's sharp, then my lens is properly adjusted. So now, as you see, the lens is properly calibrated, ready to use in parfocal mode. So that's simple as that. A good practice is sometimes to redo the test 1 or 2 times, do macro adjustment, and you will have a perfect result every time. The lens is shipped with a sunshade with a cap, like this one, that goes straight on the cap, a lens cap, a zoom lever so you can control the zoom more easily, and a little pouch to protect your lens. As you see, this series is a very nice addition to the product Lozeau offer for the E-mount cameras. They are very well built, have stellar picture quality, and are very light and convenient to operate. I highly recommend those lenses. If you have any question, visit us in store or online, and follow us on our social media.